special guest tonight, this little character here. She's here to help me talk about our 8:30 Sundays special kind of craziness. So anyway, every Sunday at 8:30, we're going to drop on here, maybe me, maybe always me, possibly one of my little special guests, one of my little helpers. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
She's just finishing up her dinner, so, sorry about that. She's eating some French fries. Sundays have become very hectic for us in our life of sports. So we had a soccer game followed by a softball practice followed by another softball practice. So if you're on here, jump on, drop in the comments where you're from. Let us know how far our reach is going. Hope you guys all had a great weekend and are looking forward to the next week ahead. Mondays can be a drag, but we're hoping our Sunday night 8:30 conversations get you into a new mindset and really help you determine, what you could be doing to either better your life financially, emotionally, physically, whatever it may be. So I'm going to have my special guest here is going to read what book it is that we're talking about. So what book are we talking about here, Miss Bailey?
How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes, How to Win Friends and Influence People. So going to give a quick recap for those of you that might be the first time on here. Again, if you're new here, drop in the comments where you're from. Love to hear how far away our reach is getting out here. So anyway, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That's the book we're talking about. I'll drop a link for the book later in the comments, so in case you want to go ahead and purchase it. It's a pretty quick read. You can catch up. I'm sticking to 1 or 2 chapters a week just to keep my mindset really focused on what we're talking about. So quick recap. The very first part 1 we finished up last week. That had 3 chapters in it. So we're going to be talking about part 2 today. But going back to part 1, we had 3 principles we talked about. The first one, stop. The first one was don't criticize, condemn, and complain. So try to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see where they're coming from. I could be yelling at her right now, but I'm not going to complain because I'm super excited that she wants to be a part of this with me. And hopefully she'll entertain you if I'm not. So I'm not going to criticize her and I'm not going to complain about her. I'm just happy that she wants to be on here with me. The next one is to give honest and sincere appreciation. And that's one thing I noticed last night. Ken has been making croutons, homemade croutons, which are fabulous. Are they good? His croutons are really good. Our kids take them in little snack bags for lunch. So anyway, if you like croutons, drop croutons in the comments. If you're close enough, maybe we can mail you some for testing. Anyway, last night Ken and I were making some croutons, and he normally does it himself, and I'm doing other things, but I was kind of helping him out, making him a little more efficient, and he just looked at me and goes, thank you. Thank you for helping me. He didn't need to say thank you. It just made me feel so good because it was honest and sincere appreciation, and it's going to make me want to help him more next time. All right, so that was principle 2 of part 1. All right, you need to relax a little bit. So principle 3 of part 1 was to arouse in the other person an eager want. That is something I'm working on with my special guest here. How often do we tell you to clean your room?
Like 15 times a day.
15 times a day, right. Okay. How often do you clean your room? Very rarely.
Like once.
Very, very rarely. So we continued to yell at her and tell her, you got to get your room clean. You got to get your room clean. And I sat her down probably about a week ago, and I said, okay, Bailey, do you like it when you walk in your room? You want to be able to find what you're looking for? Yes. Do you like rushing around at trying to get ready for soccer practice, not knowing where your cleats are? So why don't we start putting our stuff away so that when the time comes that you need to get ready or you want to find that certain toy, you know where it is. And I think it's helping her because she's seeing what's in it for her. So hey, Josh, how's it going? Just let us know in the comments where you're calling in from, or not calling, but watching from. Sorry about that. And if you're watching the replay, type in replay. So I think Bailey has really started to kind of put her stuff away. And I know today when we got ready, she had to get ready for both soccer and softball. And it didn't take her 45 minutes to get all of her stuff together because she had put it away the time before. So I kind of showed her what's in it for her. And now she's doing kind of what we wanted her to do, because I aroused in her an eager want to do. Okay, so that was part 1. Now we're going to go into part 2 of how to win friends and influence people. And that gets into the subject of my question in the comments to the right, to the left, above. I'm not sure where. Okay, so who can guess what animal never has to work? What animal? And humans are animals, and a certain type of human is an animal. Hey, Josh, how's it going? Oh, he's in the mountains of North Carolina. Bailey likes North Carolina. She likes anything a little warmer than where we're at, huh? So anyway, Josh, do you know what animal never has to work?
A baby.
A baby. Well, okay. A baby's a good suggestion, but that's not the right one. The one animal that never has to work. No, you have to work. You have chores, right? That's work. Yeah, you have chores you're supposed to do. The one animal that never has to work, think about it, is a dog. Hey, Amanda, a dog. A dog never has to work. Think about it, okay? Hens have to lay eggs.
A dog has to work.
Cows have to give milk. Humans have to go to work to pay their bills. A dog never has to work. What is the happiest animal? Okay, now, second question, what is the happiest animal? A dog. A dog, you could leave a dog in your house for all day. When you come home, he is so excited to see you. He is the friendliest dog ever because he doesn't care about himself. He cares about you.
Except for Dad.
He cares about, would you stop?
He never runs to Dad. He doesn't even lift his head up. When he's sleeping.
Okay, our dog is lazy. So that kind of goes against the norm here.
But when we come in, he just comes running.
But a dog has the most friends because he's so enthusiastic with most people that he meets. And a dog never has to work for it. He doesn't have to, vacuum the house. He doesn't have to go get a job. He doesn't have to clock in. He doesn't have to do all these things. But he's the friendliest creature, and he doesn't have to work because he knows that the more interest he shows in you, the more interest you are going to show in other people. So next time you see a dog, just imagine that. They never have to work. Being a dog would be great, I think. I don't know. But they never have to work. So try to take that, what a dog does when you walk in the house after 5 minutes or 10 hours. They will greet you the same way.
Do cats have to work?
No, yes, cats have to work. Cats have to lick themselves and be annoying and then puke all over your house. That's their job.
Dogs do that too.
Well, some dogs. Anyway, this is why you sometimes don't need a special guest because they get you off track. But we're going to get back on track. But just think about it. If you leave your house for 5 minutes and come back, how does your dog treat you? Most dogs have it really good. Exactly, Josh. They have it really good because they are so excited. You leave your house, 5 minutes later you come back, and it's like you're the best thing since sliced bread, okay? Now you leave your house for 10 hours. Are they going to be mad when you come home? No, they're super excited to see you. They are more interested in you than you are in them. And that is what dogs can teach us. Be genuinely interested in other people. I know one of the quotes that they talked about in the book was they did a big analysis on phone conversations. What is the number one word people use when they're on the phone? Josh, Amanda, either of you guys know the number one word people use when they're talking on the phone?
Hello?
Hello, that's a good one, but you really only use that once. What does the special guest think? I know, she thinks hello. Hello is not the correct answer. What were we just talking about? Being genuinely interested in other people. So what do you think most people are interested in? That's a good one. What are most people interested in?
Just talking.
Just talking. Well, that would be you and your sister. That's all you guys do. Anyway, the most used word in phone conversations is the word I. Because we are most interested in ourselves. So what do you think if Bailey's most interested in making me get off track tonight. But if people are most interested in in themselves, if you as a person can show that person that you have a unique interest in them, they are going to want to continuously say the word I by telling you about them. So show genuine, authentic interest in other people, and that is going to help you win friends. Just like a dog wins friends by wagging his tail and greeting you with excitement. That was the principle number 1 of part 2. of how to win friends and influence people. So I'm not saying that when people walk in your house, you should hang your tongue out, pant like a dog, and jump up on them, because that would be freaky.
That would be scary.
But ask them how their day was. Put them first in the conversation, and they will definitely open up to you. All right, moving on to principle number 2. Okay, Bailey, when you see one of your friends, how do you greet them? So say I was a friend. How do you greet me? How do you say hi when you see them when you walk in the morning?
Hi.
Okay, take your hands away from your mouth. Do you see this right here? This, okay, I can't do it because it's backwards on the screen. Do you see this big thing right here? That's her smile. Do you know what a smile can do? Not only for the person giving the smile, but for the person getting the smile. It makes you happier. Who all has heard, and let me know in the comments if you've heard when you answer the phone, are you supposed to, hello? Or hello? Do you see the difference in that? When you smile, it is noted in your voice, even if you're just on the phone.
Hello.
So greet everyone and everything with a smile. Dogs can't smile, but they greet you by wagging their tail.
They can smile.
You're an expert in dog smiling.
S'more can smile all the time.
Apparently our dog smiles. So our dog not only has the first principle down, he's got the second principle down, and that is to smile. A smile is I'm going to read this because I thought this was pretty good. A smile says, I like you. You make me happy. I am glad to see you. So now if we're going to go back to that first part where the number one word used was I, and we were go ahead and replace that, we say you. So now we're talking about them. So we're talking about that person who I is the most important word that they like to say. So I like you. You make me happy, and I am glad to see you. So principle number 2 of part 2 in how to win friends and influence people is smile. So drop in the comments a picture of your best smile, and we're going to go ahead and compare them. And next week, we'll let you know who has the best smile on our feed here today. So make sure you drop that picture of a smile. If you're watching the replay, take your time. If you're a little nervous and don't want to drop it in the comments, perfectly fine. Go ahead and send us a message, and we'll go ahead and we'll put that into the drawing as well as far as who has the best smile. Will you help me figure out who has the best smile?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We've got judge number 1 here. Pretty sure I've got a couple more judges upstairs. All right. To wrap it up, I did go ahead and do chapter 3. The title of chapter 3 is Calm Down, Child. Excuse me. The title of chapter 3 is If You Don't Do This, You Are Headed for Trouble. Okay. So like we've been talking about, the average person, if you can show unique interest in other people and smile at them, because the average person is more interested in his or her own name than all other names on earth put together. So for instance, this goes just back to the whole principle that people are interested in themselves. And that's perfectly fine because you want to show interest in them. You want to know about them. You want to learn about them. And the number one easy way to, learn about them is to greet them with their name. Can you seriously stop? Is to greet them with their name. And learning names and remembering names is very, very hard. There's lots of tricks out there to do it. Some people say that you repeat the name 3 times within the first 60 seconds. A lot of people will go back as soon as they've had a conversation, write the person's name down several times, and then write a few facts about them as well. That helps you to remember their names.
My teacher just remembers. I don't know how.
Because your teacher has an honest interest in you. That's why she remembers your name.
Or she just looks at her name tag.
Or she just looks at your name tag. But think about it. I mean, how many monuments out there or libraries or museums are named after someone because that someone's name was so important to them. They want, so make sure that you remember names to make them feel important. So that a name is the single item wholly owned by that person, okay? So Bailey's name, Kara's name, that is us. That is our identity. That is what our parents chose to name us. That is what we relate to. So yeah, our names are super, super important. So make sure that you remember the people's names. And remember that the person's name is the sweetest and most important sound in any language to that person. So whatever language you speak, know the person's name, know how to say it correctly. I know one of the examples in the book was about Nicodemus was the name of a person. Most people just call the gentleman Nick because Nicodemus can be a little bit hard unless you've practiced saying that word. I know a lot of people mispronounce my name. It's only 4 letters, but they mispronounce it all the time. In fact, when Ken first met me, he thought my name was Cara. That's not my name. My name is Kara. That's how I pronounce it. So when people call me Cara, okay, so they've seen my name written down. Maybe they saw a name tag, like Bailey had suggested, but they don't know me. But the minute that they say Kara, and they repeatedly say Kara, I'm like, okay, that person has a genuine interest in me. And not that I'm conceited, not that I'm self-centered. Everybody has that. It's part of our makeup. So make sure that you're learning those people's names. And back to the Nicodemus part, everybody called the guy Nick because it was just easier. And people are lazy. I can agree. People can be lazy. So people just called him Nick. And however, this one salesman, when he called him, he said, Mr. Nicodemus. And then he carried on the conversation. And the guy said, in 15 years of being in this business, you are the first person who has pronounced my entire name correctly and on the first meeting. He was so impressed that he bought a whole bunch of stuff from the guy. I'm not saying that just by pronouncing someone's name correctly, you're going to get a bunch of sales. But remember, names are important. That is what we first identify with, is our name. So if you come across a name, you're not sure how to pronounce it, ask the person and then repeat it to the person. Show an interest that you're really, really trying to learn that person's name. And then the next time you see them, greet them with the full name and not a nickname.
Or sometimes I can spell with a K and not a C.
Correct. Sometimes Kara is spelled with a K and not a C. But mine is spelled with a C and it's pronounced Kara. So anyway, I'm going to do a quick run through of what we talked about tonight. Again, drop where you're calling or where you're logging in from. Let us know what smile is the best smile you have on your phone. Bailey's going to judge them. We'll let you know who won last week. If you're uncomfortable doing it next week, yeah. If you're uncomfortable with putting it in the comments for everyone to see, shoot us a private message and we'll go ahead and add you to the contest, okay? So anyway, let's go through what we talked about tonight. The first principle of tonight's conversation was become uniquely interested in other people. Learn what they like and, learn about what they like. So say, for instance, you run into a guy who's really into cars. I know nothing about cars, but I'm going to go research a little bit about cars so the next time we can have a conversation that he is interested in. Okay, I'm not going to try to force my interests down his throat. So number 2 is to smile. Smile when you answer the phone. Smile when you wake up in the morning. Smile when you brush your teeth. Smile every time you see your kids. Smile every time you see your spouse. I noticed that's one thing Ken was doing today, so I don't know if he's ahead of me in the book or he just thought it would be cool to try. He kept smiling at me this morning. Every time he saw me, he had a big smile on his face. I thought he was up to something. He hasn't tricked me yet. We'll see if he's planning some sort of prank, but he smiled at me every day, and it made my day so much better. Even just a stupid little smile, quirky smile, whatever it is, smile. It will get you so far, even if it is just to get people to think, oh, what are they up to? Oh, I wonder what she's up to. They might ask you, what are you up to? What are you smiling about? Just try it. Try it for a week. Let me know in the comments if you've tried smiling more often than normal, and let me know how that's changing your life. Finally, remember that a person's name is the sweetest and most important sounding word in any language. Learn the person's name. Learn how they want you to pronounce it. This brings me, now that I'm talking about that, I had a friend in high school who actually, I think I became friends like in 4th grade. I mispronounced her name without knowing because she never corrected me for the longest time. Mispronounced her name. I butchered it because that's what everybody else called her. And I was just like, oh, well, I'm just following everybody else. And she answered to it, and she never corrected me. And her parents weren't always, super friendly with me, but I just thought that, oh, okay, they just don't like kids running through their house. Then I went to visit her in college, and I found out the actual pronunciation of her name, and I said, why didn't you ever tell me that that's how your name was pronounced? And she says, oh, well, it just seemed easier to let you do what you were doing. From that day on, I called her by the right pronunciation. The very next time I saw her parents and I called her by her actual pronounced name in front of them, they adored me, they loved me, they welcomed me into their home. And I don't think that it was intentional, but no one had ever taken the time to ask her, how do you pronounce your name? So learn the person's name, learn how to pronounce it, figure out whatever trick that you need, even if it's you have, on our phones, put a voice memo of how, this is how you pronounce the person's name. So when you see them the next time, you can record it back and say, oh, yep, that's how you pronounce their name. And then talk to them with the, say, hey, Joe, how's it going? Make sure that you're using their name, use their interest, and make sure that you are smiling the entire time. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's. So we're through the first chapter. Don't criticize, condemn, and complain. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Arouse in the other person an eager want. That was chapter 1. Chapter 2, part 2, we've been through chapters 1, 2, and 3. Become uniquely, that's a tough word to pronounce. Can you say it?
Uniquely.
Okay, she can do it a lot better than me. Have special guests because they keep it entertaining. Become uniquely interested in other people. Do you remember what number 2 was?
Smiley.
Smile. And then number 3 is remember that a person's name is the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Thanks for dropping on. We'll see you all next week at 8:30. Again, drop in the comments a picture of that smile. We want to see those big pearly whites. We will see you next week, and we'll see you on the other side. Anything else?
Nope.
No. What should we remember to do?
Smile. Bye.